What's going on, YouTube world? Welcome back to a little bit man gaming. This time, bringing you a review for BlackLighting episode 4, entitled "A Light in the Darkness." First thing first, if you can hit that like, subscribe, share, and the notification, and hit that notification button. Greatly appreciate it. Also, leave a comment down below what you thought of this episode, what you thought of the little cliffhanger they had in this episode, and I'm gonna have a little talk about why possibly why that cliffhanger happened. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. And yeah, we gotta go to 100 subscribers. So those who are subscribed, thank you, appreciate you. Keep doing what you're doing. Just share, because we gotta. I want to get this goal 100 subscribers, so I can set a new goal. But with that being said, the ones who are not subscribed, subscribe. I know you're not subscribed because YouTube tells me, but subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Do it right now, And okay, now we're gonna go into the video. Yeah, so this is a review for episode 4, titled "Light in the Darkness," or in its full, the Book of Reconstruction, Chapter 4, "A Light in the Darkness." A quick synopsis, and which is it really is gonna be quick because it wasn't like giving a full synopsis about what certain characters gonna be doing, like how maybe it's like a couple of sentences and paragraphs, but this is like a really brief synopsis. It just says Jefferson pays Tobias a visit and warns him to stay away from his family. So basically, this episode was about the fact what happened last week, where Jeff came to the restaurant thinking that he was going to meet up with Lynn, and Lynn thinks she was going to meet up with Jeff. Tobias basically was like the person who arranged for that dinner, and that he wanted to meet with Lynn about curing a disease, and he know Lynn was the perfect mind to do it. And we saw that Jeff walked in on it and saw them. So now, this episode starts off with Jeff having a nightmare that he can't move, that he feel like he paralyzed, and you see Lynn telling him that it's because he's poisoned, that he's gonna die, and then you got her telling him to let go, everything's gonna be okay, just let go. And she pulls out a syringe and gives herself some type of power. And you got Jeff telling her, "No, we'll go solve this together. Just help me up." And then he tries to get up to stop Lynn, but Tobias comes and step on him and basically tells him that he calls him weak, and tell him that he's going to take everything away from him, and that there's going to be nothing he could do about it. And then he said it's always going to end how it always ends, with me on top, and you on the bottom underneath my boot. And then he stumps on Jeff to wake him up from his nightmare, which you see he just in the bed with Lynn, and he's trying to contemplate what he saw. And man, then you got Gamby basically still trying to figure out how to sabotage the launch of these new metal weapons that's going to the police. And he has TC try to plant a little bug or malfunction into the gun, so that it could maybe halt them long enough to figure out something else to do. At least halt it about a month or so, or something like that. I think Gamby's plan was. And TC is this metahuman that was introduced last season. Who got the ability? He's like a technopath. He could speak to computers and pretty much control technology. He used his ability to create a flaw in the design of the gun, so that way it could be the delay of the launch of the guns could be delayed, because the guns are very dangerous to not only metahumans but to humans itself. Because even on Gamby found out that even on the lowest setting of the gun, it punched a hole in Jeff's old BlackLighting suit, and that they need to stop it, because their whole plan was unless it's a real serious metahuman, they were just going to keep it on the lower setting just to deal with like regular people and lesser and less dangerous metahumans. But Gammy, like I said before, Gammy figured out that even on its lowest setting, it's still deadly to those that it hits. We got a little side story with Jennifer. You know, she's still feeling the effects of going into the atmosphere and making her see like she got a hangover, like she been partying all night. She still got a hangover, and TC is basically trying to tell her to stop, but she won't. She snapped at TC because she said, "Who are you, my friend or my father?" And she apologized for snapping at him, and she appreciate and she tells him, "I'm sorry. I appreciate your concern and everything. I know what I'm doing. I got this. I know my limits. I know how to control this." But TC keeps warning her that things gonna get bad if she keep going up there. So Jeff ended up paying Tobias a visit at a restaurant and warns Tobias to stay away from his family. But Tobias warns and tells him that what he saw was him and Lynn having a business arrangement, and that he knows that Jeff and Lynn has been divorced for 10 years, and that that Lynn is not his family, she's his baby mama, and that Lynn could do whatever she wants with whomever she wants, including him. Jeff gets mad, and lights his eyes up like he's getting ready to attack Tobias, only for him to stop. And Tobias mocking him about performance issues. I'm trying to remember what else happened. Jeff still warned Tobias though to stay away from his family, and that Tobias told him that he wasn't done with Jeff, and that when he's ready to make his move, he's going to take everything away from Jeff when he gets ready to. Jeff also goes to Lala's underground fighting ring again, but this time Lala tries to talk Jeff out of leaving, not out of concern for Jeff, but concern for his business, because Jeff is the golden boy of the neighborhood, and that if in Lala's words, and if Jeff were to get beat up or die in his arena, they're gonna throw his ass underneath the jail. Jeff tells Lala that he's working through stuff, that he's gonna fight, and that he basically gonna take it under consideration, but he mostly care about fighting to get through his issues. So, and then what ended up happening was TC, who was trying to still help Gamby, got bored, started surfing the internet, and found somebody streaming the fight on their page. And though a lot of always have the people's face blurred so nobody knows who they are, what I was about to say, Jen ends up coming in there. She sees the fight and gets interested. I love in this moment they had a little back and forth about Mike Tyson's Punch Out and Fight Club. Like Jen, she mentions, so it's like Fight Club, and TC's like, what's Fight Club? And then TC's like, oh yeah, this fight I've been watching the fights, and it's just like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and Jen is like, what's Mike Tyson's Punch Out? So it's a little reference that TC don't know what the movie Fight Club is, or Jen not knowing about. It shows how young y'all could either or don't really know about a classic movie and a classic video game. But Jen ended up recognizing Jeff even when his face blurred, so she had TC use his powers to unblur her face to see that it is her father, and she ends up telling Lynn, who, when Jeff gets home, end up getting into an argument because Lynn is basically scolding Jeff for going to the underground fight club, and he basically confronts her about the fact that it's been 3 days since we found out that this episode is 3 days after the last episode, and he says it's been 3 days since you had that dinner with Tobias and you didn't say nothing to me about it. I saw you. And she said, you know what, you hid things from me your entire life, including before she found out he was BlackLighting. And I hide one thing from you. You want to scold me about it. and they get back to a back and forth. Then she ended up saying like, "What, you doing this because you're hurt, because you're upset about, because like you can't trust me, because what he said, I can't, Jeff says, I can't trust you because you're addicted to drugs. You didn't beat green light. You just traded green light for a different drug, which is now you're addicted to giving yourself powers." And even he tells her, even if you was, and you tell me you was clean, that you haven't even used none, I wouldn't even believe you, because I don't trust you. And she said, why? Because Henderson's gone, because Henderson was the only person you could trust. What would Henderson? She tells him that what would Henderson think about him, which caused Jeff to be put floored by her comments. And she basically scolded him and saying, what would Henderson think about what you're doing? And Jeff said, I can't do this, and he walks out. And one of the best parts of the episode, I think, is I forgot to early in the episode, Jeff also went to talk to Gamby about Lynn not telling him about this is like at the beginning of the episode when Jeff went and told Gamby that he wanted to confront Lynn about her dinner with Tobias, but Gamby convinced Jeff to let it go for now and wait until Lynn was ready to tell him about the dinner with Tobias. And he said, fine, I'll let it go for now. But that's what would lead into that whole argument, because he was trying to let it go until Lynn was being a little bit contradicting. But yeah, then we got a scene in the bar with Jeff. We found that's where Jeff went. He went to a bar to clear his head. In the bar, people was talking. It was a video. They was watching the news of how the news reporter was basically. I did say that after Jen found out, she the one who told Lynn about Jeff underground fighting. That's why that whole argument started, and that she couldn't stand. She couldn't even look at her father right now because she didn't know who her father was. Seeing him in that underground fight like that, seeing him all riled up and like an animal, and that was one of the reasons why he left the house, because he was so upset that Jen saw that and how he was acting, and then how Lynn basically floored him with that about Henderson. That's why he left. He was basically overwhelmed by his guilt for Jen seeing that in his and what Lynn said. So he at the bar, and we got one of the reporters who basically tried to say that Jennifer, instead of seeing the truth, that Jennifer was helping people and she went on there to stop the gang from suing each other. She accused that the video that was put out by Jen, that the real video showing what she really did, was a fake. It was a doctor video showing her saving people and stuff instead of causing property damage. But the lady still said that was her, that it was doctor, that she really didn't save people. She just caused property damage and all that type of stuff. And she taunted Jen, saying nice try, but we're not gonna be fooled by it, even though what she put out is the fake video, and that Jen actually did put out the real video of what really happened. But yeah, so then everybody in the bar was talking about how BlackLighting wouldn't have been caught up in no mess like that, and that BlackLighting is old school like them. But the lady was like, "But BlackLighting is gone. He's not coming back." He said, "Oh, yes, he will. BlackLighting never forgets. He always come back." And Jeff being there, he said, "Why? Maybe BlackLighting should stay gone. Maybe BlackLighting. What has BlackLighting done truly to change things? Yeah, he's beat up a couple of thugs and put them in jail and stuff. But what have he really done to change people, to change the community, to change things?" And we got the young detective cop that we found is friends with Henderson, and he basically he tells the bar his backstory because he's upset that people are bashing Black Lightning, and Jeff finds out that a while ago that this guy was actually a troublemaking gang member or troublemaker running the streets, and that him Jeff as Black Lightning found him and saved him and told him that it gave him a second chance, told him that he needed to go back to school, get off the streets, and get his life together. And he basically tells that story to Jeff and the entire bar to show that Black Lightning did change things. He did do stuff. He said Black Lightning saved my life because he said without that notion, without Black Lightning telling him that, he would have probably died in the streets or would have been like another gang member to Lala or somebody. And he basically gives an inspirational speech to both Jeff and the bar people and the bartenders, telling them that that's what Black Lightning does and that's what he does. That's what he did. That's what he does. He saves people and gives people second chance at a better life by getting them on the straight and narrow. And that so next time when you bring up Black Lightning, put some respect on his name. And so Jeff they sowing the seeds. They seem like this guy's gonna be one was fighting convince Jeff to put on the Black Lightning suit, which was a contrast to the previous 3 episodes where Jeff is basically not wanting to be Black Lightning and starting to see that maybe life is better with him just being as Jeff instead of Black Lightning. But now he finally finds some type of sign that maybe he needs to be Black Lightning this time. Or maybe that Black Lightning can make a difference because this dude said how Black Lightning saved his life. And the dude said, so next time you talk about Black Lightning, put some respect on that man's name. Jeff, after that, because of that, Jeff goes home and apologizes to Jennifer, and that he's still working through stuff, and that he's sorry that when she had to see that he would see him as a different person, but he's gonna try to get better and be the man that he can be, that she know he could be, and that he know he could be. That he's gonna try to get back to the person he was once he worked through following these issues. But it seems like he's finally coming to terms with Henderson's death. Because he even said how it rocked him to his core, and that how he apologized to both Lynn and Jen about how the death of Henderson rocked him to his core, and that he's finally trying to really deal with it and move on, so he could be a better person that both Henderson, Lynn, and Jen know he could be. This little heart to heart with Jen makes Jen leave to go get some energy from the atmosphere, which, if you haven't seen the episode, I won't tell you what happened, but it's a cliffhanger. It's a cliffhanger on what happened. And before I get into my discussion about it, what happened in that little cliffhanger sets up for why I'm about to have this discussion. But it was a good cliffhanger, and it was a good way to end the episode. So I would give the episode a solid 8.5 big ups, just because it was a good story that moved everything forward. Notwithstanding, the only thing I didn't talk about was the little Anissa side story, because Anissa pretty much, it wasn't really anything to contribute from Anissa's side, from the fact that she had a little argument with her wife, and she basically now she made it up to her by moving her stuff back in, and helping her wife become her comic book alter ego, which is Wild. And I think that was like her original last name, but she ended up picking it up. So that was the only other thing with Anisha, was that the only big thing was that her wife ended up becoming her comic book alter ego called Wild. And she showed that she could not, her shape shifting also gives her the ability to change her clothes, her eyes, and she not only could change it into like animals and stuff, she could change her clothes. So she ended up having like this black suit with this black mask on, not a facial mask, but like one, like just a mask right here. And she made her eyes turn into like I want to say viper. I was about to say like she transformed her eyes into like a like a viper, like a snake eyes. She had like these big snake eyes now. it helped match her identity. But yeah, that was the only big thing was that she became wild. But the initial part, that's why I gave it an 8.5, because the initial part felt kind of just like not necessary, only to the fact that it only thing that was necessary about it, that it did give, they finally gave her the alter ego of wild. But yeah, my discussion I wanted to have was that the reason why that my thoughts on the reason why they did that cliffhanger, because the girl who plays Jen said that she, we all know that she's leaving the show after this season, and whether the season would continue or not, she was leaving the show. This was going to be her last season anyway. But then she also revealed that within this season, she wasn't going to even be in a lot of episodes. So I think the reason why they had that cliffhanger like that is because this was the start of her missing a couple of episodes of this season, because she said she wasn't going to be in every episode this season. But yeah, we also getting close to my little discussion about it. I think was just that that's why they did it like that. Yeah, we're also getting close to the little backdoor pilot for Painkiller. I think that's episode 7 of this season. But yeah, that was it. That's all I got. Let me know what you thought about the episode in the comments down below. Yeah, just share and subscribe. Also, stay tuned, because maybe not tonight, but tomorrow, if not tonight, tomorrow, I would definitely have the review videos for both Superman and The Flash. Don't forget, everybody go watch The Flash. The Flash comes back on tonight. So hopefully I got this video up in time to let you know to go watch The Flash tonight. New episode of The Flash tonight, and I will be watching so I can do a review on it. Till the next video, peace.